All right, welcome back. This is part three of this video series on stuff you can do in Substance Painter. I'm going to go into some of the cooler fine detail work you can do. And after this part, I'll go into anchor points and show you kind of the finishing touches. But um, we have our mesh here, and it looks kind of bland. It's just kind of a solid color paint job, and we don't really have too much like personalization done here. So what if we wanted to add some of that to it? Well, in Substance, we can add all sorts of cool detail work through height and alphas. So what I'm going to do is, I think this one's extra layer that I didn't. Nope, that actually was important. I lied. I don't know which one I did. There we go. Okay. So let us start with a new fill layer. And we're going to want to work on this fender right here. So we'll add a mask, add a black mask, so that we can see everything. And then we're going to go into our properties panel here, and we're going to, under our material properties, we're going to remove everything except our height. You can also alt click to choose just the channel you want to work with. But if we add to our height here, so I'm going to, let's increase our height. And then if we go over to our mask where we can paint, we grab our paintbrush. I got ahead of myself. Hold on. Where's my alpha mask? Get rid of that. This is our paintbrush. And say we wanted to, let's reduce the size a little bit. And we paint on here. We're actually painting height onto the normal map. So while if you look at it directly this way, you don't actually see height in the material or in the mesh. What it does is it creates the illusion of height. And if you reduce your height below 0, so if you go to a negative number and then go back and paint, you actually carve out sections using the same tool. So what are some things that we can do with this? Well, you can paint just like I showed, just like I did, or we can use our alpha channel here to create some cool decal work. May have seen it when I accidentally left it up from when I was getting ready for this, but you can put in your own custom materials or decals, stickers, height map alphas, things like that, just by importing them straight from Photoshop. So I have over here in Photoshop, I have a Charmander sticker, and I have this Vespa logo. So I'm going to use this one first. So the way that this Vespa logo, the way that this one works is this is an alpha, which is basically as easy as it is. All you need to do is create an image with a black background and a white foreground. And this will create your alpha. And you just save it as a PNG. So go File, Export. You can export it as a PNG. Either quick export or export as. Doesn't really matter. And then you go into Substance and you can import this by going down to Import Resources under File. And you click Add Resources. And then you can choose your resources to add. I've already got my things in here, as you probably saw. But if you import, let's import the Vespa logo color. When you import it, you'll have the ability to define what kind of asset this is. If you click on that, you have options for alpha, color, LUT, environment, and texture. If you set it to alpha, then it will be considered an alpha for the the stuff that I'm about to show you. Environment will actually create background environments, and texture will be used for normal maps and things like that. And color LUT is just base color. So if I was importing a color sticker, basically, you can either go with a texture or color LUT. It doesn't actually matter too much on that, but make sure you don't choose alpha because it will read it weird. So now I have my Vespa logo. So the easiest part of this is I want to add a sticker. If I wanted to do that, you can take your Vespa logo, whatever sticker you've imported, you can drag it and drop it right into your scene. You can choose, if you choose base color, it will paste it exactly as a sticker on top of your mesh by creating its own layer. So you can then manipulate it just like you would actually in Maya with your W, E, and R keys to move, rotate, and scale. But this is flat. We don't like this here. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete this layer. And we're going to go into our alpha. So what I want to do is in my assets panel here, I'm going to filter by alphas. So you have all these different alpha options that are already set up in Substance that are pretty easy to use. If I wanted to grab, say, this arrow here, drag it into my alpha channel, and then let's increase the size of our brush a bit, and I can just click anywhere I want to add that alpha. Now, if I wanted to use my Vespa logo, which is right here, and then we will increase the size of our brush. There you go. Now I have a Vespa logo on the side of my my scooter. Don't tell Vespa; they might get angry at me for using their logo. I should also mention. I should get rid of that to make that less confusing. Ignore that. I'm going to fix it. So we take our Vespa logo and we add it to our alpha. And then we'll make our brush a little bit. That's good size. And bam. Now we have a Vespa logo on the side of our scooter. Don't tell them. They might sue me for using their logo. And then I can place one on the other side as well. So that is how you would do decal work with external PNGs. You can also do this with lettering, numbering for things like serial numbers. I wonder if I can show that because there is... where's my fonts? There we go. There's a fonts option. And if you choose, say, I'm just going to use Arial for this instance. You choose Arial. You can actually stamp fonts or stamp text into your object. So not a Vespa. Type it into this text box here, and then click on to create a stamp, and there it is. And it's the same as a brush. So if I were to drag and paint, and it will create multiple instances of that. So when you're using this, make sure that if you don't want that to happen, that you're just clicking once. And this is also affected by the height amount that you've added to your material layer. So if I wanted to have it raised, I can just drag my height up and drop back down if I want it indented. Make sure you aren't accidentally affecting more than one thing if you want to, because both of these objects are on the same layer. They're part of the same fill layer, so you don't want to you want to work decals on different layers if that's important. So if I wanted to add in a sticker, such as this Charmander sticker, if I wanted to just drag that into our scene and then drop it as our base color, there it is. And then again, I can rotate it and scale it. And now I have a cute Charmander sticker over my glove compartment. All right. And it's its own layer, so you can manipulate that. I'll have a bonus thing at the end here that's takes a bit of time on its own, and so I'll make it its own video, but some cool stuff you can do with stickers as well. All right, so that's height maps and stamps and decals. Next up, I'm going to go into anchor points. We're going to get this stuff to have a bit more detail on it. See you then.